high quality, made to last a long life. Last a life. Long. Hi everybody, welcome back to Tidalwave Afterwork, the music production podcast. My name is Patrick Damiani, this is Marc Maurer, and we are here to answer your questions. Let's dive in.
We have a question here from Doug Moore.
Hi Doug.
Doug wants to know, I often get asked for a free demo mix to see if my work is any good and to decide if they want to work with me. Should I do free test mixes? Should I?
No.
Why not?
You go to a restaurant and you say, yeah, I would like to eat here, but I'm not sure if it's good enough. Can I eat for free just to see if I want to come back to eat?
And as we know, all restaurants offer that.
Okay, so no, don't ever work for free. If I get asked, let's say it's working for an album or something, and they are not sure if we are a good match or something, then I say, well, then pay me for one. And if you feel comfortable doing the rest, then we do the rest. And that always works. If you have someone that says, yeah, but I don't know, I don't want to take the risk or something, you can avoid this by just having a homepage or something where you can demonstrate the quality of your work. And if you give if the communication with the artist or the client is great and you show them that you really care and that you are open for communication and open for revisions and feedback and blah, then this is good to build trust and let them at least let you do one song and then decide if they want to continue from there. Don't mix for free ever.
No, don't do it.
Hope that helps. Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, returning question asker, Dylan Peters.
Hey Dylan,
Hi Dylan. Do you have any advice on the application of different types of reverb of different instruments? Plate versus hall versus room.
I gotta be... maybe you have to say more about this, but I don't think about it like that ever. I don't care. Like I don't like.
But you always have to use a plate with 3 seconds of decay on Steinways.
Yeah, it's the same way. Like I could have like learned by now all the differentiation between FET style and optic blah blah blah, but it also doesn't matter. It's nice to know these things, but practically it really doesn't matter at all ever. You use what sounds good to your ears, and if it happens to be a plate or whatever, then or a spring or a chamber, then great. And if it happens to be no reverb, or it at the end it happens to be a delay and no reverb, even though you thought it should be a reverb, but then a delay worked. Yeah, the point I'm making is, for me, I don't think about it, so I don't have recommendation other than the stupid punch line of use your ears. It's like,
yeah, you are more the intuitive.
I have reverbs, I know them, I know what they can do, and if I have a source that I feel needs reverb, I throw a reverb on it or I send it to a reverb, I listen to it and I tweak it, and if it doesn't work, I take another one until it works.
Yeah.
But when you know your tools, you don't have to like switch them out a lot. You just know, I need this one. I don't care what kind of reverb it is, because nobody else is ever gonna care what reverb I used. It just has to work. So it's like, I go with that.
I have maybe two things. The first is I usually don't like to use, in most of the cases, not always, but most of the cases, like not one reverb, but it's a blend of different ones. It's my personal way of doing things, and I have good luck with it. So to let something sit there, it's like intuitively, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then it's a nice blend, and it's not this one obvious reverb, which helps me a ton because it's just like so rich and everything melts together.
That's a good point, yeah.
So there it really doesn't matter, because it's like plates with halls, with rooms, with delays, everything is like mixed, and a little bit of everything, and you can really not tell what is what. Exception is special effects, like Valhalla Shimmer is a special thing that just does something like fairy tale-y. Or if it's like On guitar, sometimes like springy, boingy stuff works just because it has a character, or a chamber because it just has like an attitude. It just has like a it pulls you into a mood of something. These are maybe exceptions where something specific works, but there is no rule to this. So yeah, but it's never the same thing always on anything. Not for us, at least. It may work for you if you find something that you find like this works amazingly well for acoustic guitars. Then just save it in your brain and try it out first. Maybe on next time you're working on something like this, but don't necessarily stick to it. Try something else if you feel like something else may work better. Yeah. Thanks for the question.
Thanks. Okay, we have a question from Ian French.
Hi, Ian.
Ian wants to know, when recording drums, where should I put my room mics?
Yeah, well, it depends. It depends on what the room mics should do for you. I would maybe consider two main scenarios of what room mics can do for you. The first is like a realistic view of the kit, gluing all those individual spot mics like the snare close and the bass drum in mic, and even the overheads that are often, not always, but often like cymbal microphones. They give you kind of the whole kit, but only kind of. The only thing that really helps you like glue together that kit so that it sounds natural in the room is the room mic. So this is the realistic thing. But then there is like, if you need room to make the room sound bigger or the drums further away, that's a whole different thing, because then you may want to try pointing the microphones away from the kit and capture only room. Be that like on top of the drums facing away in the room, or in the far corner just pointing at the walls. Or even, what is even better is you go just outside of the room, like if you have like a reverberant hallway or stairway or something, just place a pair of microphones out there, leave the door of the recording room open, and you have like an echo chamber out there that is really very diffuse. And if you add this like in a small dose to the drums, then it just sounds like in a much recorded in a much bigger room. Ideally, I would use both, like something in the room for the realism, and one pair of microphones like pointing away from the drums, just capturing diffuse room of some sorts and just make the record sound bigger.
Yeah.
Maybe we did like a little master class where we recorded like a complete little song, and there is one video only about all the setup where we also talk about the room mic placement, and there is one video about the whole mixing thing, where also the complete treatment and what it does of the room microphones is explained in great detail. So maybe put a link up there so you can check it out. There are basically all answers that you could probably need regarding that.
Yeah.
Hope that helps. Thank you.
Thanks. Hey, if you like our podcast and this channel, consider subscribing if you haven't yet. And also leave a comment and ask a question so we can cover one of your questions in a future video. And last but not least, go tell a friend about it. Thanks.
Okay, next question is from Ronald Davies.
Hey.
Hi, Ronald.
What's up?
Procrastination is one of the greatest enemies of a creative person. How do you deal with your own personal procrastination? And do you have any tips to help people become more productive and avoid all these rabbit holes that can be found in each step of the way? Let's answer that question later. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
now. Let's do it tomorrow.
Oh, did you see this?
Yeah, that's very
So
nice.
this is procrastination, in case you didn't know. It's like, mañana, we do that tomorrow or later. Or, yeah. How to stay focused? How do you do this?
If we're talking about work, and by work I mean paid work for somebody else, it just has to do with discipline. There is no other way around it. And in this case, our job isn't any different from any other job in the world. You have tasks, you have a set amount of time per day that you work normally, And during that time, you do all your best to finish those tasks or come as far as you can, and then go on the next day and try to be within the deadlines that are set.
Just do it.
It's just discipline. It's like, do I want to do this now? Yes, great. No, doesn't matter. You have to do it anyways.
Answer 1, yes. Answer 2, no. See answer 1.
Yeah, exactly.
There is this thing like motivation is not a good driver. Discipline is a good driver. If you say like, I want to have a song done by the end of the week, and if this is your goal, then sit down and try. Don't rely on motivation or like inspiration or something. Those are not the real drivers. You will find out that if you sit down and just give it a go, you will be surprised what comes out. And even if it sucks, then at least you won't have procrastinated. You will have tried it and you will have given your best.
Yeah.
Thank you for the great question.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, last question for today comes from Milan Stojic.
I had a co-worker 23 years ago. He was named Stojic.
Okay, Stojic. Sorry for butchering that.
Hi.
Milan, hi. And Milan wants to know, are expensive cables better than cheap ones?
Yes and no. It depends.
Bye.
No. Good quality cable for me, and not only for me, but for reasonable thinking people, is a cable that will last a long time and is built in a sturdy way that will not disassemble itself by just looking at it. This is the most important thing in a good cable. Good connectors, preferably Neutrik or something like this, like high quality, made to last a long life. Last a life. Long. Stuff like this, because if you plug, unplug, and it's high quality. First of all, the fit is good. Do you know those cheap cables that you just have to squeeze in somewhere because it's just the tolerances are bad?
You feel like you have to
abrade something off to get it in. Good quality cable maybe has a good shield. It has a good material that just stays new for 10, 20, 30 years. I have cables that I've used for 25 years and I got them secondhand back then, and they are still great. They work, they hardly ever break. So this is a good cable. If you mean this by good cable, no, it was expensive cable, right?
Expensive cable's better.
Yeah, okay, so sure, a good cable, a good connector costs more than a cheap one. So like a $2 cable, you risk of getting trouble with it because just something will just fall apart.
But I mean, basically then the answer is, don't look at the price tag, but look for the things that Patrick just told you.
Yeah, but
and obviously
it will have a reasonable price, something like, I don't know, if you spend like 30, 40 euro for like an XLR cable, then this is a reasonably good cable. Yeah.
All right.
That was the last one.
Okay.
Well,
cool.
Time passes so quickly.
Yeah.
Thank you for the great answers. Thank you for the great questions. Thank you for your great answers. And see you next week, hopefully.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.